Greetings, fellow goobers, and welcome to today's episode, where today I decided I'm going to do a bit of a Pepsi challenge, if you will. I'm going to pit my two amps against each other. Not so much as a what's better, just to kind of do, just to hear, I should say, rather, the differences between the two amps. So we got the Marshall EVH. So why don't we get started? Okay, so you have Overdrive 1 and your acoustic simulator here at the very start. You've got two volume knobs right there. You got your gain, and then you've got your scoop button to scoop the mids, and you've got a body button which enhances and really warms up the acoustic sound. There's the volume knobs for Overdrive 2 and clean, right? You got your gain knobs again, another scoop to scoop the mids, and a bright to really crisp up the clean tone. All right, and on the end over here, we've got the 3-band EQ, the bass, the middle, and the treble for your overdrive channels. Underneath, same thing for the clean channel. You've got the bass, middle knobs. You got the presence knob here, the volume knob, the master volume, I should say, right? And then you've got the overdrive effects buttons. On the end here, you have on display all 16 effects, and then there you turn the knobs to whichever number to get your desired effect. And those both work for the clean and overdrive channels. For this little test, I'm going to be using my Solar S16 Limited. It's loaded with the Duncan Solar pickups, and it just sounds really nice. I'm going to be plugging straight into both amps so that it's not muddled by any pedals or any effects or anything. So I can get the purest sound from the guitar to the amps, just to see the big differences between both amps. Let's get to the EVH, shall we? Okay, so your first channel here, channel 1, got the gain, low, mid, high 3-band EQ, and you got your volume button. Channel 2, right? If you'll notice that every channel has the same knobs. So with channel 2, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, you've got yourself the gain, the low, the mid, the high, and the volume. And on the end of the amp, you see you got your channel 3, so you got your gain, your low, your mid, your high, the volume again. But on the end, you got 3 presence knobs, one for each channel. And what these do is they boost the channel, all the EQ, the gain, the volume, or not necessarily the volume, but the gain, the low, the mid, the highs. It boosts all those sequences for you, really brings it out overdrive almost, you know. So you got to adjust accordingly. Okay, now that we've had an opportunity to hear how they both sound, these are my final thoughts on both amps. The Marshall, I've had this amp now for a long time. It's been sitting around collecting dust, and I didn't really expect it to sound like it did back in the day, brand new. And I gotta tell you, I think I was right, because while the acoustic and the clean channels sounded okay, I mean, I wasn't too unimpressed with them. I mean, the clean channels from both amps, without any kind of effects, like any kind of chorus or delay or anything to really kind of liven them up, it's kind of what you expect of a clean channel, right? I mean, it's just kind of one-dimensional, I guess, if you will. However, when you start getting into the overdrive channels, channel 1 and 2 for the Marshall, I mean, I almost couldn't even tell a difference between the two, because they were both so very stagnant, so very bland, so very flat sounding, very thin. It was big time like, oh my god, this is not good. So I mean, this amp, it's been retired now for a long time, and it's definitely going to stay that way. I would never use it in any kind of jamming, recording, live scenario whatsoever anymore. It's not inspiring. That's where the EVH comes in, right? I mean, any of the guitar videos you have seen me play so far, the guitar covers or anything, I'm always playing through the EVH. Now the clean channel, I do like it. It has a warmth. It has a nice feel to it, but again, without any effects to really liven it up, it's very just meh. I hardly ever play cleans, so it's not really a channel I bother with too much. However, Overdrive, the channel 2, it's got some crunch, it's got some meat, it's got some good wholesome tone. You know, I mean, with the tubes and everything, you kind of can't really go wrong with that. Very rhythm tone oriented, classic, you know, the rock stuff. Channel 3 kicks so much ass, it's ridiculous. It's got so much tone, it's got so much power. You can still even use it to play rhythm guitar for things like classic rock or or just rock and roll or whatever, you can still get that AC/DC type of guitar tone with it. Or, I mean, you can master a puppet, like you can thrash with the best of them. And, you know, it's great for lead tones. I'm not much of a lead player, but I mean, you know that Eddie Van Halen uses it for his lead tone, so you know that guys are shredding crazy solos on it, and so you can't fuck with the third channel. Another big difference between the two is obviously valve state versus tube. This has 8 12AX 7 preamp tubes and 4 6L6s, and this is just the valve state digital technology. So what I find is when you get to this, when you turn it up more, the higher the volume, the more output you're putting. I mean, this is supposed to be 150 watts of power. This is 100 watts. But this, you turn it up, it will kick this amp's ass any day of the week. So what happens is, like, this I found was, you turn it up and it would just kind of lose everything. It was like, it would just fall apart. You'd just lose all your tone, all your, it just ended up sounding weak but loud. Here, you get the richness and the power of all the tubes and everything. So everybody knows, you know, you turn that shit up and it sounds better and better as the louder it gets, right? So, I mean, this amp I'm going to pick every single time for practicing, for jamming, for live, for recording, over this amp any day. All in all, I have to say, love my EVH. I love it. I love the Marshall, but it's just going to be decoration in this room. It's gonna sit over there and just kind of look cool. That being said, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Come back for more. And yeah, I guess we'll be seeing ya. So until next time, take care.